Videos of landslides have been popping up here on social media lately out of California. And there's a lot of confusion about maybe what they are and comparison to some other features. So can you give me the down low on a landslide and exactly what it is and how it happens?
Yeah, so basically a landslide is anything that's downsloping the natural movement of the land. And typically it happens when we're dealing with a very wet season storm that comes on shore and really just compounds a lot of rain in a very short amount of time. So I like to use the analogy of a sponge. You think of the ground, it has to be very strong to kind of support all of those buildings on a sloping terrain, but you throw a lot of rain at it, that sponge can only hold so much rain before it all becomes to run off and it all starts to kind of loosen up a little bit of that strength it has.
Where are they most common? We're seeing the videos out of California. Are they common across the entire United States?
Most of it is happening on those elevated surfaces, those downsloping areas. So thinking hills, mountainous regions, and areas that receive a lot of rainfall. So that's the combination that we're looking for is a downslope. So again, a hill or a mountain, as well as a lot of rainfall.
So what is the difference between a mudslide, a debris flow, and a landslide?
Yeah, so they all kind of fall under the same terminology here. So a mudslide and a debris flow are just different types of landslides. So landslides is the overall kind of general idea of what it is. And then a debris flow is simply just the mud and the debris from houses and other things like that and trees, all just really moving downslope at a very fast pace. And it could create a dangerous situation as well.
Can a previous wildfire cause a landslide?
Absolutely. So that's a big thing. Whenever we have a big wildfire that moves across the area, it not only does damage to the trees, it really messes with the soil. So that means the soil can't really hold those trees as well. So whenever we have a lot of that earth that's been burned up, it's very loose and it's not as strong. So once the heavy rains come, that's when we have to watch out for things like mud flows and debris flows after a wildfire.
There are warning systems in place when it comes to weather. Are there warning systems in place when it comes to landslides?
Not really. So when it comes to landslides, it's kind of a nowcasting, if you will. So we have to monitor these things very, very closely. And that's where your local meteorologist comes in to be able to say, hey, this is happening right now. You guys need to heed any evacuation orders and things like that.
Yeah, I was going to ask because it's not really a weather feature, it's the ground. So is that who you look to in a situation like this as a local meteorologist? Who does this fall under as their responsibility to inform the public?
Yeah, so it's a combination of your local meteorologist and your local news team that you follow because the meteorologist will bring in that science background. We have to wear many different hats as meteorologists as a station scientist. So that's where, yes, we mainly focus on weather, but when weather is causing things like mudslides and things like that, it falls under our wheelhouse.
How does a landslide cause a tsunami?
If it goes into the ocean, then it could create a ripple effect where those waves get displaced a little bit, and that comes on shore as a small tsunami.
So these are dangerous all around, basically.
Absolutely, especially since again, a lot of times you can't really see it on radar, you can't see it on satellites, so you have to really rely on ground truth observations to actually know it's happening.